This is the 5th video in a 6-part series on rethinking our food system. If you miss any, you can go to www.gbiota.com/videos to see previous episodes. The aim of the G-biota system is to grow plants in biologically active, mineral-rich soil so they act as pre- and probiotics. Now, what I'm going to say gets to the heart of the matter, so forgive me if I explain it like I was talking to my grandkids. Right now, I am alive and surrounded by microbes. They are in me, in my guts, my mouth, nose, and all over my skin. These are the beneficial microbes, or good bugs, to my grandkids. They do no harm to me, and are actually protecting me from the bad bugs, which are just everywhere, in the air I breathe, the food I eat, and anything and everything I touch. Most of the time, they do me absolutely no harm because I have an immune system which largely lives in my gut, which is protecting me 24/7. In the language of my grandkids, the badies get zonked. But when I die, my immune system stops working and the bad bugs take over. The first day, there won't be much change. Day 2 is not so good, and by day 3, things are looking, or rather smelling, real bad. Now, plants are not exactly the same, but they are similar. They are under continuous attack from the baddies, but while they are alive, they fight them off with what we call phytochemicals. That when we pick a plant, it dies. For the first day, there is not much obvious change, but the bad bugs have already started their work. But all the time, the bad bugs are slowly winning from the good bugs, and after a time, the bad bugs will have taken over completely, and we say it has gone rotten. Up until that time, people will say it is fresh because it has not gone rotten, but the good bugs we want will have long gone. If we want to eat plants full of the beneficial biota, the message is that we need to eat as soon after it is picked as possible. There is another reason. It just tastes so much better. Many keen gardeners are already using the G-biota beds for their own use, so they have genuinely fresh plants growing in their garden. But this does require some dedication. The G-biota box system enables people lacking the time, space, or skills to set up their own beds from scratch, to have pre-prepared boxes with living plants growing in their own home, ready to be picked and eaten while still fresh and before the beneficial biota die. This is how it works. An experienced grower, maybe a commercial grower, but possibly a community-minded home grower, uses G-biota beds to grow soil, using organic waste, manure and minerals to breed the biota, which will form part of our gut biota, and convert the insoluble minerals into available nutrients. This nutrient-rich, biologically active soil is then loaded into bio boxes, so the bio foodies have ready access to genuinely fresh plants. As they are based on wicking beds, they require very little maintenance, just a weekly water. The boxes are large enough to grow a useful amount of food, but light enough to be readily transported. They are offered at 3 levels. Customers can simply buy what we call a cleanskin, a box loaded with soil ready for the customer to seed and grow plants as they wish. Biofoodies buy directly from the grower at an agreed price, but the typical cost will be about $50 per box. The next level is what we call a swapper. The box is seeded and the plants grown ready to harvest using the tipping system, where just the tips of the plants are harvested and allowed to regrow. After a period, the plants become old and the boxes are simply swapped for another box. Typical costs are some $70 per box. At the top of the list is the extreme box, which is planted with a combination of some 27 different varieties of plants. This is definitely the best way to go, as with gut biota, variety of plants and microbes is the way to go. Typical costs are some $80 per box. The boxes on any system can simply be swapped for fresh boxes reloaded with fresh soil and nutrients, and may only cost some $20 per box on swap over. But again, logistics come into play. It just makes no sense to have a mega farm producing bio boxes and shipping them over large distances. It is simply not the way this alternative food system should be moving. We call customers who want to eat food to feed their guts biofoodies. The best way is for biofoodies and growers to form a local food community. This ensures both quality and consistency of supply. This is an important feature of the G-biota movement, which we will talk about more in the next episode. These will be viable local independent businesses or just home growers willing to support their local community, not some part of some mega corporation. If you want to know how to solve the food crisis, then watch the video series on rethinking our food system. It is important for the future of our species, so please tell your friends about this series. If you miss any, you can go to www.gbiota.com/videos.